Hey,
All right. Hello. All my good medicine way relative. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied today, but welcome to another wonderful evening here at Good Medicine Way on this Monday, July 1st. Hey. But yes, it is so great to see everyone tonight. Tonight we are hearing from our dear sister, our dear relative, Helen Wright. She will be sharing a little insights with us tonight. So I'm very excited to hear what she has to share. But yes, I am Upeti Daka. I'm usually the MC or I do the welcome. I come from the land of the Caddo, Comanche, Kiowa, Osage, and Wichita nations here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Good Medicine Way comes to you from land of the Tewa people, the Apache and the Dene people, as well as many other beautiful tribes in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it comes to you from the land of the Sandia Mountain, the Watermelon Mountain. Hey, but yes. Um, so tonight is a very special night because it is our last Good Medicine Way for the next couple weeks. We're going to be taking a little break, as Uncle Casey has been announcing over the last few weeks. Tonight it's a very special time. Eh? So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to my brother Eshe for our opening prayer. So go ahead and take it away, brother.
All right, thank you, sister. How are you all doing tonight? Good, good. Hope you all doing well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna get started in the east. So if you'd like to pray with me, center yourself. That'd be good. O Creator, Maker of all that is, who always has been, may the rising sun remind us of you, who gives us great wisdom and strength. Help us, your people, as we walk your sacred path in life, that our generations to come will have light as they walk your path. For the rays of the rising sun and fire in the east, melt the Oshehao. Thank you, Creator. And facing south. O good Creator, you send us soft winds and rains from the south. May goodness always be in our hearts and gentleness in our speech. We are reminded of the things that make us happy in this life, friends, family, and you, O great power and source of all life. Help us to walk with you always. For the soft winds and rains and the waters that come from the south. Natio Bitaol Itzakol, Creator and Former. Thank you. Facing west, Creator of the setting sun, we send our voices up to you. We pray, Great One, that our journey through life may know the harmony and rhythm of the setting sun. We pray that we may look longingly towards the sunset of life and feel your greatness and beauty within us. For the sun's brilliance as he sets in the west, and for our mother the earth, Meltiosh. Thank you, giver of life. Facing north, Great One, our eyes are turned towards you, where you speak to us from the north. You are the power over the harshness of our lives, stormy winds and great drought. You are the ones who calms our fears and our anxieties. Give us strength and courage to walk the strong winds in life by walking with you. For the protection you provide us and for the air we breathe, we thank you, Creator. Nahan, let it be so.
Hey, sorry. Thank you, brother, for that wonderful prayer. I was over here moving to all the directions and I'm getting blown in them. Just kidding. But yes, also a very special announcement for today. Today is Canada Day. Canada, eh? Just kidding. It's the equivalent to the 4th of July, which is also coming up this week. So there's a lot of celebrations that are happening. Um, Many of our Indigenous groups in Canada are holding remembrances for the children who died in the Canadian residential schools, rather than celebrating the formation of Canada as a colonial state. So we want to take a few moments to just, recognize it and mention it a little bit. I believe that's kind of why a few of us here on the Zoom are wearing orange shirts. Um, but yes, I was actually thinking about that for a moment, and like, yeah, there's a lot of good things that were created, but there's also a lot of bad things that happen. And I find it very beautiful that the Canadian, the Indigenous Canadians, the First Nations people of Canada, that they're taking a moment to remember all of their past relatives, the ones who did not make it home. So I think that's very beautiful, a very beautiful way to celebrate something like that. Yeah. But yes, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Brian, who will be rendering our opening songs. So whenever you're ready, Brian, go ahead and take it away.
All right, so we're gonna be doing a couple songs to start things up, and screen share. So we're gonna do the Harmony Way song, which is a song that we wrote. Except we're gonna do it with a straight beat tonight. We've done it some other ways in the past, and then we'll do Jonathan Miracle's. Oh, actually, that's not Jonathan Miracle. It's that other guy who wrote all the songs. The Holy Is Yahweh song. Candelorian.
Candelorian.
Right? Yeah, it's a Candelorian song. So yeah. All right. So let me get the mics all switched over and we'll get it.
In harmony in us, love for each other, sisters and brothers, hey Yahweh, Yeshua, and His Son Yeshua.
For the
All
appreciation.
right.
I
Sorry.
have something for the Creation Insights tonight. All right. This past week we had our book group when we were reading through Native. It's called Identity, Belonging, and Rediscovering God by Caitlin Curtis. And on my walk, I told you, like every day I walk I walk about an hour in the morning and try to get an hour in the evening, but always on today, I don't get it in. My son or one of my daughters take the dog out. But I was walking past Chaparral School. It's in my neighborhood. And as I was going by there, I just started reflecting on the book that we've been reading. And in the chapter that we were reading, it was called Stereotypes and Survival. And, going along with this orange shirt that we're doing today here, is that she makes a point in here that here in Albuquerque, she brings it up, in Albuquerque, there was an event that happened, or I guess a crisis or something really, really bad. Cibola High School, back in 2018, Cibola High School, there was one of the teachers there that went and took one of the boys and cut over, and someone said about 3 inches or so off the back of his braid, off. And there was a young Indian girl there as well, and she called that Indian girl, "You bloody savage." And it didn't go unnoticed. The classroom, with cell phones and all of that kind of thing, texting, everybody heard about it and spread it like wildfire. And the city, all the natives of the city just really rallied, picketed the school, they weren't going to let that go unissued. So they finally got in touch with everyone in power there, I guess you could say, and they got the teacher removed. But can you think that same mentality still exists today, that a teacher, a well-educated teacher, but maybe not well-educated, she didn't know about the history and how it affected Native people, and just her words and her actions are just a carryover of what happened years ago. And it's still in the minds of some people. So it's just we haven't lost it. So I was walking past this school. I just thought about what it would have been like if one of my kids would have been taken from my arms and then put into a school. I don't think I'd never be the same. The trauma of that would just destroy me. And I imagine it just destroyed a lot of parents at that time too, who are still suffering, even grandparents years after still suffering from that traumatic time. So Creation Insights during my walk just brought up all this memory of the book group that we're reading, of the Orange Shirt Day, and just remember that many of the children did not return home. That's what I wanted to say tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Uncle Casey. It's a very helpful tie-in for today, especially. But yeah, that was great. Thank you, Uncle, for sharing that. Maybe lift our children today and our children from the past up in prayer. Because our families, the children don't deserve to go through anything that's that horrific, including the recent events. But yeah, that was a lot. But thank you, Uncle. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to read the Lord's Prayer from the First Nations version. Brian will lead us in it. So yeah, so I think he's gonna pull up the words here, and we can try to sign along as he says, because he kept up enough that we're able to still make it without Leah McCoo here. Hey, she's still in our prayers though. Hey, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hand this over to you, Brian. So yeah, go ahead and take it away.
All right. My shoulder's still messed up. Will be for like a month and a half. But so I'm not going to try to sign because I'll end up doing something that I shouldn't be doing with my shoulder because I'll not remember to rein it in.
Yeah, let's just all read it together.
So so here we go. Creator sets free, shows us how to pray. O great Spirit, our Father from above, we honor your name as sacred and holy. Bring your good road to us, where the beauty of your ways in the spirit world above is reflected in the earth below. Provide for us, day by day, the elk, the buffalo, the salmon, the corn, the squash, and the wild rice. All the things we need for each day. Release us from the things that we have done wrong. In the same way, we release others who have done wrong to us. Guide us away from the things that tempt us to stray from your good road, and set us free from the evil one and his worthless ways. Aho, may it be so.
We got that part down.
Yes, eh? But yes, now we're going to go into our smoke signals time, which is our announcement time. And I'm going to hand this over to Uncle Casey for the smoke signals and giveaway time. So go ahead and take it away, Uncle.
All right, thank you. I need prayer tomorrow. I'll be leaving on a short trip, just an overnight trip to, of all places, the Redwood Forest in Northern California. I got invited there to meet a group there that are interested in having me work with them in a camp that they do up there. And it should be pretty exciting being in the Redwoods, but part of their ministry up there is they do giant zip lines. So I don't know if they'll do it then, but I hope to do it. If I do get asked to do their program, it'll be in the fall.
Just don't break your collarbone.
Don't break no collarbone. Yeah, that's right. Well, Brian and I were talking about, he's motorcycle racing, and back in the day when I was younger, I could fall off the motorcycle and bounce and everything because I think I was made out of rubber back then, and it didn't. Yeah, everything just kind of went back in place usually. But if I was to fall right now, something would give, and it wouldn't be pretty. So that's tomorrow and Wednesday. I'll be going just for an overnight trip and coming right on back. But I'm supposed to be meeting up with a lot of people that work with Native ministry folks out there. So pray for me tomorrow. Oh, and remember, the next 3 weeks here, we will be taking time off. And I got a suggestion. I was just talking with Brian just a little bit here, kind of on the side here, is that I do have about 3 or 4 podcasts or interviews that were done with me, and many of that really just reflect some of my theology and some of my missionary ways of doing Native American ministries. And so I thought about if Brian can work that out, we'll put a little blurb in there, so if people do join us, that we don't want to kind of leave them like blank, like what happened to Good Medicine Way? Did they quit? What happened? But if they don't know that we're taking 3 weeks off, so something like that, I'll forward these Zooms to them and this podcast, so there'll be something in there that they can click on, and you all can do this too. You can click on it and you can hear a podcast that I did, or an interview that I did some time ago. So we'll try to see what we can do about filling those gaps there. A couple things that are coming down the road here is that on August 8th, we're going to be hosting, and we could probably even have them over again, the InterVarsity team that's going to be doing the Would Jesus Eat Fry Bread are going to make a site visit. So they're going to be coming here to our facility, and they'll be going to Sippy and also checking out several places that their groups may be exploring, like Old Town, the Public Cultural Center, those kind of things. So that'll be happening. So with that, also text me or give me a name of somebody you'd like to hear. It could have been somebody you've heard before, just like I've already asked Meryl if she would be our speaker here in the future. So if somebody that you'd like to hear again, just send me a note and then I'll give them a call and we'll put them in the lineup for the fall. So anybody else got anything? I think that's it that I got right now. I got
Hey, sorry, Uncle. Hey, yeah. Don't forget about the Wichoni Family Camp that is coming up towards the end of July, I believe. I don't have the dates right in front of me, but hey, just throwing that out there. The Wichoni Family Camp that happens every July. So in Turner, Oregon.
July 25, 26, 27, 28. That'll be coming up here. They always do it at that last full weekend of July. It's a great camp. I did it for 22 years straight and finally took a break. But they're still going strong. They got a lot of good things happening. I believe they have another person that can run the sweat lodges now, because that was one thing that I did when I was there. So that's going to take place again too there. So keep that up.
Is the book study going to be on pause too for the next 3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Glad you brought that up. Yeah. Pause on the book study. So everybody, they'll know, and I'll get in touch with them again. And the ladies group as well, Christina, I see you're on there. If you guys needed to take a break, you could probably add that to this 3-week break as well. If you
don't want to break.
Or if you don't want to break.
That's fine.
That's right. I know. So, yes, we are going to take a break, and then we're going to hit it back again on the 30th. So good. Anyone else? I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. If not, we'll just our giveaway time has come, and we appreciate it. Laura, she keeps track of all the funds that are coming in. We get a lot of donations by check that come in. I got one person, a new person, that said that they don't do anything electronic. She says, send me an address, because I write checks. So we sent her the address, and she's going to be giving us a check, and said it should be pretty regular with that too. So a lot of good supporters out there, and really appreciate that. Good things are coming down our way too. We are going to be part of a grant called a matching grant. There's 4 ministries in Albuquerque area here in the Southwest that are new ministry starts, and we're going to be sharing with them $75,000 in matching grant money. So whatever we're able to raise, we'll probably let you know about this in the future here, but we'll put it out there that whatever we can raise, if we raise $1,000, $5,000, we'll get $5,000 on top of that given to us for our whatever we do here in work. So when the funds are here, it seems like we got a lot. We can make a lot of things happen. So appreciate that. So think about that. That's going to be coming down the pike here in a little bit. So as we get ready for a song, we'll
yeah, and if you do give digitally, on our Facebook page, right at the top of the page, there's a pinned link that goes to a PayPal interface. You don't have to be on PayPal to use the interface, but it just allows you to use a credit card or other digital means to make a donation to us. And we'll be putting up our QR code blanket on screen, and the QR code on that also goes to that PayPal link, and we'll be singing the song Purify Us during the giveaway time.
Way hey Yahweh, hey oh. 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 Way Yahweh, 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 Yahweh, hey oh. Yeshua, come and purify us. Yeshua, come and purify us through the Spirit's healing light. Let the fire burn bright. Way Yahweh, Yahweh, hey oh. Way Yahweh, Yahweh, hey oh. Yeshua, come and purify us. Yeshua, come and purify us through the Spirit's healing light. Let the fire burn bright. Way Yahweh, Yahweh, hey oh. Way Yahweh, Yahweh, hey oh. Way hey Yahweh, hey oh. Way hey Yahweh, hey oh. Way Yahweh, 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 Yahweh, hey oh.
Yeah, all right. Hey. That was very beautiful, Brian, and everybody that is in person. I loved hearing the rattles and the drums and some of the singing in the background. It was very beautiful. So thank you for that. Thank you. But yes, okay. Now we'll be going into reading Creator's Word. I did have a little trouble finding something to do this for us. So I was wanting to ask Vicky, who is in person, if she would be the one to read Creator's Word tonight. I'm not sure what the scripture is, but if y'all can let her know, that'd be really awesome to, hear from her for a good little change. Hey, a good little change up. Hey. So if
Uh,
you could, Nikki, if you could, that would be awesome.
Let me just flip to it. Hold on.
yeah, so we got, it's going to be Romans 12, verses 1 and 2. So I'll give you a chance to find it as well. Romans 12, verses 1 and 2.
All right. Romans 12, becoming a true human being. 1. So then, my sacred family members, because Creator has shown us such mercy and kindness, I now call on you to offer your whole beings, heart, mind, and strength to the Great Spirit as a living sacrifice. Do this in a sacred and spiritual manner that will make His heart glad. 2. Do not permit the ways of this world to mold and shape you. Instead, let Creator change you from the inside out, in the way a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. He will do this by giving you a new way of thinking, seeing, and walking. Then you will know for sure what the Great Spirit wants for you. Things that are good and that make the heart glad, and that help you to walk the path of becoming a mature and true human being.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you for doing that on the fly. Eh? Yeah, it's
Well,
very rare that we get to hear from people in person, in the church, in where we are gathering. Eh? So I figured, since I wasn't able to get a hold of anybody, that we have somebody on the inside, to come and offer that. And especially from Nikki, who is one of our one of our family members who comes like pretty much every single week. Well, why not give her a moment to, share
Yes.
her beautiful voice with us. So all right. So now we are going to be going into a centering and stillness time. This will give us a moment to prepare our hearts to listen to what Helen has to share about finding connections between Corn Mother and Hildegard von Bingen. Yeah. But yes, and so we'll go into the stillness time, and then Brian will introduce our speaker. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Good Medicine Way, Good Medicine Way in person. So go ahead and take it away.
And
I think-
actually, I'll let Casey introduce Helen because he knows slightly more than I do.
Yeah, we know Helen for a couple of years now. She's been joining us, and she has been a faithful follower and supporter as well. I wanted to introduce her because got to meet her in person here. It was a year and a half ago or so. We was in Michigan, and we were at the Pokagon Band Potawatomi Powwow, and my family and I were set up as vendors there, and was just enjoying the day, and then along come a familiar face, because all I could see was the face, and it really connected when Helen come walking up, and she had her mother with her as well. And so whenever we have our vendor stand, we always have enough chairs in the back there so we can have everybody come back there and just sit and visit. So that's what I like best about being a vendor, is that sure, I like to sell some stuff, but boy, the fellowship and the friendship and sharing that happened during that time too, because that's when I get a chance to meet a lot of friends that I see all the time, because most of my family and a lot of my friends are up there in Michigan. So reconnecting with them, it's always really good. So Helen has become one of those friends that I hope to see when I get up there. I'll be coming up there on July 24th. I'll be in your town, so maybe we can grab a cup of coffee and just catch up a little bit before I go on to Bethel University to shake them up there a little bit. So, all right, Helen, I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit more. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. First of all, can everyone hear me? Sometimes my mic goes in and out.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I was very honored to be asked. And when he asked me, I thought I didn't want to do the pretendian bit where I pretend, well, the whole thing. So, but I did remember something I'd mentioned once at A Good Medicine Way about Hildegard van Bingen. And she is one of the saints I've really found fascinating to study, because so many of her visions align with Native American beliefs. So I prepared a PowerPoint. It's not everything about Hildegard van Bingen that there ever was, but it's just focusing on some of the parallels with Native American culture. So do I have share screen? Yes, I do. All right. So I'll come to this. Just check the chat. Oh, lovely. Okay, so I will go to slideshow. I'm using a lot of her artwork. Among other things, she was a composer of music and poetry and art and vision. So I love this, where this is kind of a vision of the cosmos. And so tonight it's Hildegard von Bingen connecting with Creator. So I have a table of contents, starting with my own mind-blowing moment, talking about the divine feminine, the cosmos, Mother Earth, diversity, equity, and belonging, and the cost of discipleship. So the mind-blowing moment, this is kind of like that old game, Where's Waldo? Can you find the Hopi Corn Mother in this picture? And if you can't, don't feel badly, because I couldn't either until somebody pointed it out. Okay, so let's see. She is supporting the pillar. If you look in this pillar, you'll see that image. Now, there are more than one representations of a Hopi Corn Mother, but what I found fascinating was that Matthew Fox is a scholar who has studied his whole life on the mystics, particularly Hildegard von Bingen. But it was an indigenous scholar who pointed her out to Matthew Fox. He'd never noticed this resurrection symbol. So I wondered, what is she doing in a 12th century nun's self-portrait? Let's see. My screen is giving me grief. Okay, arrows. Okay, I'll come out. Somehow I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to stop share and go back into it. Let's see if that makes it better. Okay, here we go. Thanks for waiting. So what I got from this is that Creator has been true to his word. He has given his most important revelations to different people throughout time and space. Okay, I think it's this menu here on the side that's getting in the way. Maybe not. Okay, I'm trying to hit, here we go. Matthew Fox is pictured here. And this is a quote from him. every time I shared Hildegard's work,
Hey, Helen,
It didn't.
this the screen didn't change on our view.
oh, okay, let me see. Sometimes if I stop screen share and then start it again,
Yeah, and I think maybe if you like don't move your mouse, it'll like stay focused on where it's supposed to be and let you be able to change things.
okay, I don't have a mouse actually, but I'll see what I can do. All right, can you see a man and Hildegard van Bingen?
Yeah, we see Matthew Fox in the icon of Saint Hildegard.
Okay, that's the right place then. So Native Americans I've interviewed have responded that they hear the word of their ancestors. Okay, did it move to the next slide?
Yes, you got it.
Yay, okay. So once I was showing her illuminations and her commentary, and a man came up to me and said, "Last week I buried my grandmother, who is Native American. All during your presentation, I heard my grandmother every time you quoted Hildegard or showed one of her images." So what I gather from this is that through the grace of Creator, Hildegard von Bingen saw and shared Creator's guidance on how to live as believers. And many of these revelations reflect First Nations beliefs and values rather than the dominant European patriarchy. So first is connecting to the divine feminine. So despite the patriarchy that dominated the church, her visions personify attributes of God, such as love and wisdom, as distinctly feminine. And this is important because a lot of the church saw everything feminine as wicked or weak. But she said, "I heard a voice speaking to me. The young woman whom you see is love. She has her tent in eternity. It was love which was the source of this creation in the beginning, when God said, 'Let it be,' and it was." So these visions reminded believers of Creator's balance of masculine and feminine. They challenged the idea that everything feminine was evil. They elevated the position of women in theology and led to new opportunities under her leadership. So basically, Hildegard was saying, if you have a problem with the feminine, then you have a problem with half of God, because half of God is part of this. Yes, I know Michaela's just put in that, yes, she is one of the herbalists. And yes, I wish I had time to go into that. But yes, she did a lot with herbs. And she was fascinated with science and in general. Okay, so then connecting to the cosmos. Now, a lot of medieval Europe was fascinated with sin. And Hildegard would say, if you're fascinated with sin, you're putting man in the forefront when man is just one part of the great cosmos. Okay, I'm getting my grief again. Stop share. Oh, great. Yes, I see somebody else has put in about the herbalism. Okay. Okay, up we go. So rather than focusing on sin, Hildegard focused on connecting with the cosmos. Creator calls us to participate in what she called cosmogenesis. She used this term to describe how all species are called to contribute to maintaining and continuing creation. So she would say, if you really want to get in contact with Creator, you've got to get in contact with the creation. That's part of why she wanted her nuns to go out into nature and experience it for themselves. So rather than subduing creation to human control, Hildegard emphasized how creation reveals Creator. Only through fulfilling our caregiving role can we live in a right relationship with both creation and Creator. And that would include the earth, the stars, the planets, everything in the cosmos. And I know in her illustrations, there's a lot of symbolism where we certainly have a role as human beings, but we're not the central role and we're not a big role. We're just one part of it. But if we can accept that and take joy in that we are supported by this wonderful network all around us, then that's when we're going to find the joy in Creator. So, and from that comes connecting to Mother Earth. And she was one who actually used that term, Mother Earth. And she also coined this term Viridatus. I love it. It's a greening power. Nature and creativity stem from Viridatus, the divine greening power. Like love and wisdom, Viridatus was a feminine attribute of God, but all people shared it. So she did not claim that only women have this quality. No, this is a human quality. It's more on the feminine spectrum, but we all share in it. So holy persons draw to themselves all that is earthly. The earth is at the same time mother. She is mother of all that is natural, mother of all that is human. She is mother of all, for contained in her are the seeds of all. So humans have to live in a balance with and care for nature. Now, this is a small part of this great big mandala she has. And it shows that, yes, humans have a place in the cosmos. But if I were to take this back out, you'd see it was a small part of a cosmos where there are lots of other things, like the earth and the trees and the stars and the animals and the plants. So she really had that balance idea. And a quote from her, and with nature's help, humankind can set into creation all that is necessary and life-sustaining. So Hildegard saw that life as an integral part of this web provides a give and take support system that benefits all members. And she really relished in it. She didn't want to be the center of it. She wanted to know that she was contributing to it and that they were contributing to her, and that you'll find a security in this network that supports all of us. So she also gave a warning, and I think she could see in her own time the power vacuums and the land grabbing. And she foresaw that if humans greedily take more than contribute, Creator will let Mother Earth rise up to defend herself. And the way she put it was so beautiful, that it's not God punishing us. It's kind of like what Eshe was saying. It is descriptive rather than prescriptive. She's giving us a warning. She's not putting a curse on us. And that it's the earth herself that will have to defend herself. So I love this image of the scream. Okay, so equality, diversity, and belonging. This is very interesting that one vision revealed that the first man was a red man. And this is very unusual for a European, because she's actually declaring that our most ancient ancestor was a non-European person of color. So in contrast, Europeans saw otherness as monstrous and dangerous. They saw other humans as like not even having heads, or things like as dragons, very binary, no spectrum, just there, it's us and them. So that made her vision all the better. Okay, I'll come back to this again. All right, slideshow. Okay. So just as Creator revealed to her how everything in the cosmos plays an important role in creating the greater good, so Creator revealed that every human being has equal value and importance in the world. And she didn't think that just because she was light-skinned, that she was better than anyone else. And she felt if Creator has revealed this to her, then it's her duty to report it to us. Now, I know some scholars have said that she grew up in a convent that was very influenced by the Celts, and the Celts had a legend of Brendan going to the New World, not to conquer, but to share the gospel, as in sharing and learning from them too. So she may have grown up hearing these legends about other people. And I think that's true to a point, but I also give credit that Creator revealed some things to her. And as Eshe said, I don't think that she was just dictating everything, but she was trying to relate it in the way that she could to her world and her readers. Okay, now, as great as all this sounds, this all came at a great personal cost to her. Now, this is what I love, this mandala where There's place for everything, everything in its place. And all these layers are kind of showing it to me, kind of like hugging everything into it. That if we all are here together in this vision, we stand strong. But if all of these circles were to just go off their own way, everything would be in disarray. So we want to keep in that right relationship, even in this colorful mandala. So Hildegard's visions came at considerable personal price. She opposed corruption in the church, she directly admonished political figures, and she stood up for the women in her order. In a variety of ways. She found that some of the women were being abused, either financially, physically, sexually. And that's one of the reasons why she decided to uproot from the monastery where the men were and take all of her nuns out and founded their own abbey, where she could do things as she saw fit. And even things that were fun. I mean, we don't really think of nuns as a fun-loving group, but she had dress down days and she had special recipes for cookies of joy and things that she would make for her nuns and encourage them to do. So it kind of makes sense that if she was looking at all those little things, she was looking out for their greater welfare too. But what happened, both she and her nuns were kicked out of the official church, or they were excommunicated. So her teachings were largely ignored and buried by the powers of the day. She had written some beautiful musical works that they forbade her to play or sing. She was literally and figuratively silenced. However, Creator never let her light be completely extinguished. The church remained on notice, and her work survives to this day. So I use this term on notice. This is something I've heard in educational circles. If we hear of an example of abuse, we are on notice. That means we have been informed and we have a responsibility to act in to benefit the victim, to get proper help for them. So scholar Matthew Fox has devoted his life to resurrecting her teachings and applying them to today's issues, from ecology, diversity, equity, belonging, and reconnecting with the Creator. But as great as that is, he himself will tell you he could never have done it by himself. So there have been substantial Indigenous contributions. Like at the beginning of the presentation, I showed you the Hopi Corn Mother, which is just one of many images, I grant you. But he's mentioned a couple others by name and said just in general, he's been very blessed. So he emphasizes his tremendous debt to Indigenous theologians, that their insights and recommendations have strongly influenced Matthew's work, campus policies, and continuing collaboration. Now, I did find a couple names of specific people he's worked with, and I'm sure if I keep investigating, I'll find more. But the ones he mentioned by name, this is the best image I could find. One was Buck Ghost Horse. He is Lakota. And he taught Native American spirituality. He set up a sweat lodge on the campus and accompanied Matthew on a vision quest in the year that he was silenced and excommunicated. I think it's so ironic that just as Hildegard was excommunicated, Matthew, who was a Roman Catholic priest, was excommunicated. And one of the complaints that they had was that he was going too native, that he had set up a sweat lodge, that he went on vision quests, that he was including people. So he picked up the pieces. He joined the Anglican Church, and he's still going on. He's founded his own organization and continues. You can look him up. But Buck Ghost Horse was a great influence on him and a great encourager as well. And the other one was Sister Jose Habde, who was of the Seneca. She taught classes on ritual, and he said continuing conversations with her deepened his understanding of Creator and how beautifully Native American spirituality illustrates and dovetails with Creator's message. Unfortunately, both of these people have gone on to the cloud of witnesses. So otherwise, I would recommend them come speak with us, but I think we're going to have to wait on that one. So takeaways from this. Creator has shared the word at different times, cultures, and places. Creator's messengers may come from unexpected places and populations. I know in her day, it was pretty risky for her to share her revelations. There, of course, is the chance that they will be taken seriously, but for a woman to share such powerful revelations, there was a much greater chance that she would be accused of witchcraft and branded, burned at a stake, have an ear cut off, all kinds of punishments. But anyway, she came from an unexpected place and population. Creator has consistently revealed the need to keep the balance of nature and harmony with one another. Okay. I see a couple things in the chat. I'm going to check. Yes, they were. You're right. She is connected to Saint Francis. There are a lot of parallels with her and the other mystics. So let's see. Stop share. Okay, come back to this. Okay, now, and another important takeaway is that indigenous expression of Christianity not only benefits the indigenous, but I think it also benefits the colonizers. Why? Because we need to be reminded of Creator's message, whether it's through Hildegard, whether it's through Good Medicine Way, we need to be brought back to it. I know I hear the term full gospel thrown around by some people, but I think the full gospel includes the message of how we're to live with one another and with creation. And indigenous Christianity reminds us all of this full gospel message. I think it's important to know that Creator will share this treasure to all who are open to it. That, I mean, in one sense, she was very gifted, but I wonder how much of that was simply that she was open to him at great personal risk. And I know she was frightened for a long time to share her visions, but she finally was strongly encouraged. In fact, she had become very ill at one point and was told that she had to start sharing it. And so from that point, she became more open to it, even though I'm sure it was painful and frustrating at times. So in conclusion, without ever meeting Native Americans herself, Hildegard trusted the visions that Creator showed her. She incorporated a Hopi Corn Mother, a resurrection motif in her own self-portrait, her own spiritual awakening. She probably did not fully understand it. She just knew intrinsically it belonged there, and she was on notice to put it there. She, for all I know, maybe she put it there and it was to just be part of that support until centuries later, this indigenous scholar pointed it out. Perhaps there are other meanings. I don't know, but it's exciting to think about. And in the same way, we can collaborate to resurrect the church. Hildegard is among the cloud of witnesses. She's cheering us on. I think everything that we've been learning, she would support and say, yes, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. So final thoughts. So this is how I think of the Westernized church left to its own devices is going to end up. I think everything in all these squiggly lines in a panic, or we can have a balanced ecosystem of cultures and life forms at work with our Creator. So I like this where I've got Hildegard's art, but she's by no means the only person who experiences Creator. So that is my presentation. I thank you for listening patiently, for giving me a chance to share it. And I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. I've been watching the chat. I've been pleased that some of you are familiar with her. And so at this point, I'd like to open it up to questions or comments.
Yeah, I think we'll do a little reflection time and give everybody a chance to gather their thoughts, and then we'll open up the floor. questions, comments, amazements, what have you? Yeah, I was really super struck by like how much of what she wrote aligned with native traditions and values. And especially that it was like in direct contrast to the common teaching and direction of the church in Europe at that time. So she had a radical message for the church in her day and age, but it was a radical message that completely aligned with native values and traditions on this continent. So yeah, I found that really incredible how much that all just like lined right up.
You know, it was also amazing that she felt so compelled after having that experience of being ill that she had to get it out despite all the adversity of her time. Like you said, she could have been burned at the stake, but she was told by the Creator to get that message out.
I quite agree. But I'm also amazed that she did have a following, that there were apparently a lot of women who were anxious to join her abbey. In fact, she had to found a second one because there were so many. I mean, I never would have thought somebody could put the fun in none like that. It sounded like a really hard life. But I think actually maybe they heard about those cookies of joy and the recipes and the dress down days, and maybe that was an enticement. I don't know. Well, no, I think it was something more serious than that.
She was an amazing lady, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like her nunnery or whatever they're officially called was probably one of the few places at that time where women could really express themselves and be seen as more than just baby makers and housekeepers. So I'm sure it was like an amazing experience for the nuns under her care to be able to do the things that they were doing. I mean, I think like we're so far disconnected from that time in history now that it's hard for us to even conceive like just how devalued women were in that culture. So yeah, I mean, for her to do the things that she did, like if she was doing those today, they would be amazing. For her to be doing those like in medieval European culture is like just completely astounding.
Man.
Yeah. And it looks like Eshe's got something.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Helen, for your presentation. I really enjoyed listening to it. I was just gonna share a thought and then ask a question. I also have been very like into the Celtic Church and learning about the differences that they held theologically from the mainline, church at the time. So it's very interesting to learn how their philosophies gave way to different teachings and to different practices that were very in contrast. But I was just like, when you shared that image of the cosmos, I was reminded of another image in a book I read called A God Named Desire, which shows like the heavenly council, and like especially when with the what do you call them, like seraphim, the ones with the 3 different wings, and how that creator become human in the middle, I think it was. And in that book it shows like the 3 different, shows them like as little wind kind of symbols in a circle, but everything's in a circle, and then the creator is in the center as a circle as 3, and then like the image is kind of illustrating that creator is the ultimate giver, and then everything radiates from there, instead of like the one who is expecting the giving is actually the one who's giving the most. So I thought that caused it kind of paralleled with the picture you showed. I thought that was really beautiful. And then a question I had, based off of my research of the Celtic Church too, and I don't know too much about Hildegard in regards to this point, but like, I know nuns like now within the Catholic Church they don't marry. Was that something? I know Hildegard had this equal regard for women and men, but also like the idea that marriage was something beautiful and sex wasn't something bad, was probably a view she held. So I was just wondering how her practices with her nuns were with that, or her philosophy.
Well, as far as I know, the nuns who were under her had taken a vow of celibacy, but she probably believed that her nuns and she had the gift of singleness, where they were complete in and of themselves, and there was no need to marry. That, in fact, they were able to devote themselves to God in that sense. But as you say, she did not at all look down on marriage. In fact, she thought that too is a sacrament. So I think balance comes to mind when I think of her, where she doesn't think that one has to exclude another, that we all have a calling, we all have a purpose, and we can follow that. I think that's as best as I can answer for now. But if anyone else would like to amplify or add something, that would be great.
I just wanted to share, I looked her up online, just a quick Google search, and I found this really cool quote that she said. And she says, "I am the fiery life of the essence of God. I am the flame above the beauty in the fields. I shine in the waters. I burn in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And with the airy wind, I quicken all things vitally by an unseen, all-sustaining life."
Wow, that is powerful.
I thought so too, so I wanted to share.
Yeah, that sounds like Creator speaking through her. I doubt she's talking about herself. But I think, yeah, when she connected with these visions and this creation, that she was able to channel a lot of these thoughts and share them.
All right, Nikki's got a question in the house.
Yeah. So it's really interesting learning about this saint because I don't know, I guess I was on maybe a low-key journey of trying to find like a saint to like pray to maybe, but I don't know, this like it's just funny like how she just like came up, you know, and like how your presentation was about this saint that I've never heard of, and I read like, you know, obviously why wouldn't I resonate with her, but like I definitely have to do more research when I get home. I'm just really interested, especially her art. Like mandalas are really hard to do, especially back then. Like I don't know, but there is something just seeing her art and like her talking about harmony and balance. It makes so much sense. Like, you know, I could tell like when you do a mandala, usually kind of like you have to balance it out. Like, you know, you kind of like work. You add something on like the top end and you're like, okay, I got to add something on the bottom end, or something on the right, something on the left, and it's just like all about balance and like harmony. So, you know, it really does like show through her art. And, you know, like personally for me, like as an artist, like the way I feel closest to Creator is by creating, like by making art. So, you know, I think it's just a way I also resonate with her as just an artist. Is like I can see the spirituality in her works.
So I love hearing from somebody who does and who appreciates what it takes to make that mandala. And I've seen mandalas in Native American culture. I've seen them in subcontinental India or in the East or the Taoist, but I have not seen them in mainstream European culture. So that's really interesting that was revealed to her. And I know she didn't have a lot of training. In fact, she had a scribe. There was a monk who was writing down her words for her, and he was writing it out in Latin because she would be speaking Old German. But I don't think she had training in art too. So somehow I think Creator was revealing things to her and she was just doing the best she could with it. And yet that came across so well. Thank you, Nikki, but thank you for sharing that insight.
All right, go ahead, Meryl.
I was really struck by her intelligence, and you just answered one of my questions because I'm thinking a woman in that time, how did she know to write all of these things? Uh, so I actually have two questions. It's about her compositions. Do they still exist? Do we have copies of her musical compositions? Have they ever been performed?
You can find YouTube performances of some of them, and I'm sure that there must be some notation. Now, I'm not sure if it's conventional notation with a treble clef and a bass clef or
Yeah.
how she did it, but there are records of it, yes. And another interesting thing, she wrote the first opera in the West, and it was all the virtues of God, and there was a character of the devil. That was the only part, and it was her monk who played it, and he's the only one who can't sing in the whole thing. He's muttering through the whole thing. Everybody else has rhythm, but he's just kind of muttering and complaining about everything. Another interesting thing, I guess she wrote them for high voices, and I guess I've heard that in order to sing them, you'd have to take in a great amount of oxygen. So effectively, it's like getting high, but on oxygen, which is good for you. So she was finding yet another way to make her nuns happy, I guess.
Wow. Um, since she was a contemporary of Saint Francis, did they ever actually meet and share with one another?
That I'm not sure about, but I would love to know. I know St. Francis is another fascinating person. He did interfaith dialogue with, I know, a Muslim leader, the great Saladin, and both men came away with a greater sense and appreciation for each other's faith. So, yeah, I think, I hope they got to meet each other, or at least dialogue through letters or something, but I'm not sure. That she might have had to communicate with him through her scribe. I don't think she knew a little Latin to sing the psaltery. That's what most nuns were taught, but he was the one who was helping to put together her works as greater wholes. Okay, I see a couple more hands.
Go ahead, Pitadaka.
All right. So thank you, Helen, for sharing tonight. It was really great to hear in like a good insight from you. Now I know you talked briefly about the corn mother, right? But I believe I probably missed what the connection exactly was between Hildegard and the corn mother. Like, is there like a further, like a deeper connection, or is it just like that she understood that native values and native spirituality um was like a guiding light, I guess. I don't know. Right? But was there any deeper connection besides just like the surface Native American spirituality connecting to what she was finding through Creator?
Well, I can give you my opinion on that, but there are other possible opinions. I'm not sure that she fully understood that it was a corn mother. I think she was given it a vision and probably depicted it, but I think this was her self-portrait of her own spiritual awakening, which she would think of as a death and a resurrection of herself, a death to her old self and an awakening to this new self where she's going to express her visions and stuff. And I think the Corn Mother fits into that very nicely because the Corn Mother dies but then regenerates again too. So it is a good resurrection motif for that. But I think she probably had to wait until she got to heaven to fully understand what that was.
But yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Helen. I was gonna say that I think it's really cool that you were talking about like feminine leaders and women leaders. So I thought that was really cool that you had this vision to talk about it. So thank you for your research and thank you for just coming and talking with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Michaela asked in the chat, I think her microphone's not working very well, but
Yes.
she was asking about just the Celtic links, and she noted that a lot of Celtic imagery, is all interwoven things and more kind of circular in its patterns and stuff. But do you know anything about her connections to early Celtic theology, or if she had any lineage that was from the Celts?
Well, I know that her lineage, she was from the German nobility, and often they would promise a daughter or two to the church, usually younger daughters. They didn't have to give as big of a dowry for that, I think. That was an incentive. But Hildegard wasn't fighting it. She wanted to go into the church. So in terms of lineage, maybe not. However, she did grow up in a monastery that was founded by a Celtic order. So there would be some of that influence coming into it. I have noticed, I love the Celtic knotwork. I've tried to draw it sometimes, just almost like a meditation, and it's tough. You really have to do it step by step. So I love that. In terms of mandalas, I have not come across one in the Celtic world, but I have seen a lot of, as you say, interweaving kind of almost serpentine vines and things like that are just amazing. But if you know of one, I'd be glad to look at it. It's wonderful that we have so many comments of people who have been doing some research into that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, the Europeans, I don't think would have widespread knowledge until early 18th century, right? I know Matthew Fox believed that the legends of Brendan, who went to the New World, would explain some of it. But I thought even if they got to the New World, they would get to the East Coast. They wouldn't get to the Hopi people. At least I don't think so. I think that's highly unlikely. But no, I think it was revealed to her. That's my opinion, anyhow. Obviously, I was not there at the time. I can't document it. But I agree with you, Eshe. But yes, she did have connections with the Celtic Church in that sense. And yeah, the Celtic Church did stand apart. In fact, the Celtic Church was a much more stable church for a long time than the Roman Church, where they had the nice advantage of being an island kind of separated from the mainland. So it was a little harder to invade. And I think that helped them kind of solidify as a group.
Yeah, and I think, to the best of my knowledge, I believe Christianity initially came to the Celts via the Coptic Church, is what I had heard, and so Celtic Christianity kind of grew up outside of Roman influence completely initially until Rome invaded England, and then there was a conflict between the Catholic Church and the Celtic Church. But yeah, so that's why the Celtic Church, its traditions are so unique compared to that of what we see in most of Europe, because somehow the folks from North Africa ended up there and shared the gospel with them, and they just kind of infused it into their culture. So it was one of the very first really kind of contextualized things outside of like the first century. Like post Constantine, Rome was trying to like mandate everything. So the Celtic traditions were like the first ones that kind of grew up also having a cultural context infused in them with their belief system.
Right. Yeah. Helen's got some great contributions here in the chat. Yes, you're right. There were the Celts. In fact, I think they originated kind of from Central Europe, or some even say longer, farther back, because the Greeks wrote about the Celts as they were going through. But yes, there was a big grave, I guess, in Hallstatt. They found what they believed to be a prince and stuff. There's a lot about Celtic history that can be said, but I don't want to get too far off topic. But yes, this is all fascinating. Yes, the Celts were in that German region So there may have been some influence that way too.
Very cool.
Oh, I'll share maybe one of the last comments here, and what you might think about it, Helen, is that there were probably so many voices that were stifled because of the pressure of those times. And same thing today. There are so many voices that are stifled because the church, denominations, the pressure from evangelicalism that just does not let you explore anything beyond what they'll consider acceptable. Is that it's there, it's powerful, and if it can be released and people have the courage and willing to step up and and take the heat, that lives will be changed because somebody spoke and changed somebody's life. And then I believe many of those voices are right here listening, and you're all a part of that. So I just wanted to share that and what you might think about that.
I agree. I remember hearing a minister say he didn't use the term evangelicalism. He said, I think too highly of the good news to equate them with that word. He used the term fundamentalism, but he said, my problem with them is that they're not fundamentalists, they're incidentalists, meaning that if they just stuck with the fundamentals of the Bible and of the Creator, the main teachings, we'd be okay. But they get hung up on all the small stuff, or they magnify the minute and they miss the biggest parts. Like I think Hildegard would say, if you're not in a right relationship with creation, you're not in the right relationship with Creator. I mean, that's just a contradiction. And of course, that would not be popular with the political leaders of her day. They wanted to grab up land for themselves and build up churches and castles that would glorify them. Oh, I see some arts. Michaela, you are a wealth of information here. That's great. Okay, yeah. But yes, I think we have a lot of voices that have been stifled. I'm pleased for all the ones who have come through that we can hear, and I'm pleased that you're providing a forum for a lot of these voices. Like, I mean, just hearing the story today that teachers are still cutting off kids' hair. I know, ironically, in Hildegard's time, she let her nuns go around without habits on days, and that was one of the things that she got in trouble for. But she said, look, we're all nuns, we're all women, you can't say that we're being seductive. We live here, we're in seclusion. But she was saying, we're connecting with nature, we're recording all kinds of herbal cures and things like that. And what are you hung up on? Our hair? So I've learned hair is a big deal to the church for some reason. And it just takes different forms in different times and places. But yes, I would agree with you, Casey, and say that I'm really pleased that you provide a forum for a lot of voices, whether it's the speakers or whether it's somebody on Zoom or in person who needs to share an experience, that you're letting them do that. And I think that's building up the kingdom of God, piece by piece, person by person.
Oh, good.
Brian, may I say something?
Sure.
Listening to Helen and Casey's comments, and I'm sorry that I wasn't with you all, but I was actually in a coma for 2 months. And they thought that I wouldn't come out, but I did. And listening tonight and getting that encouragement that this woman, despite all the odds and the things in front of her, she knew that she was going to move forward no matter what. And I've been told in the regular church I'm too Pentecostal. They don't know what to call me. So I married American Indians. That's what they would call them. I call for First Nations people. But yeah, I've been in trouble many times by the church, and I felt like I was thrown out. But I felt a home when I saw that Casey was providing a place for not only the First Nation, but for people like me that have a love for the Creator and that God is moving on their hearts this way, directing them this way. I just love that this nun was pointed in this direction so long ago. It just gives me hope. It's so much hope, that God's going to use us, the Creator's going to use us, and we're going to be those voices.
Amen. We're so happy that we still get to share some more time with you, Lisa. I'm so glad you're back.
Yes.
Yes, one day we'll share the whole story, but that was the short end. But they said I would die, but I lived. And we're here to tell the story. There's more to come.
Yeah. And when she came out of her coma there, she wanted to share something so badly that one of her first calls was to touch base with me. She said that, I just want to let you know what I've been going through. And, as soon as she came out of it, she, gave me a call. And that's like, thank you so much. You know that, we were praying because knew you were going through something because you weren't here. So.
I heard Jonathan Miracle singing the victory song in the coma.
Wow.
Yes.
That is cool.
Aho.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Final.
Right. Any last questions or comments?
Very good evening here.
Yeah. If not, we'll move on to another Jonathan Miracle song. So we'll do we'll do the Gonorrhea song as our closing round dance. And get the words up so you can all enthusiastically sing along. And since Lisa was hearing Jonathan Miracle and she was in between worlds, we'll sing this one in honor of her coming back to be with us.
And we'll all get up and dance and thank Creator for his many blessings, bringing Lisa back to us and helping our bodies to slowly heal and all the wonderful things that Creator is blessing each one of us with. So, yeah. So get up and move so we can ask for some more healing.
Yes.
Yes, Gonorrhea. Yes, Gonorrhea. Yes, yeah.
Hey, yes, I got down. I was dancing for Lisa. Hey, if y'all haven't heard, last week I actually hurt my ankle pretty bad. So I was starting to get it moving. So I was like, why not go ahead and dance? So now that I have the ability to do it again, hey. So many blessings to our families there. Hey. And thank you, Brian, for that wonderful Ganarunkwa song and everybody else who was joining in person. Hey. But yes. Okay, so now we are going to hand this over to our brother Namar Newson, who will be giving us our send-off blessings. Hey. So Namar, are you ready? All right. Go ahead and take it away, brother.
Okay. Can you all see me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, well, I definitely after making sure that you all can hear me okay and see me okay, I ask yet again if you will pardon my attire. It's hundred degrees out here in Barstow, California. Yeah, so I'm wearing this towel because I'm sweating and I'm wearing this tank top. So please pardon me. You know, this is hot, hot, hot. But thank you very much, Helen. It is such a great honor for you to share tonight. And it's been a long time of waiting for you to present. So I appreciate the privilege of learning from you this evening. And I thank you for teaching us about Hildegard because this is my first time knowing about. Yeah, I haven't heard of her before. So I really appreciate the teaching of Hildegard. And I really want to thank you for what you said about when you emphasize men and women being equal in value, because that's something that I have shared with my folk in my church about when it comes to men and women. You know, we may be separate in our positions, but we are equal in value. So just because we may have different positions doesn't mean we're not equally important or equally valuable or equally impactful. So thank you, and thank you everyone for coming out. I really appreciate seeing all of you today, this evening. Okay, so now let us humble ourselves before the Creator. All right. Creator sets free, oh Jesus. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this wonderful day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad. Thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for the reconciliations that have happened today. Thank you for the reconciliations that have happened in recent years and for the reconciliations that will continue to come. Thank you for the teachings of our sister Helen. Thank you for the emphasis on how we should not use such small things to cause such great division, for those are the tricks of the enemy. But we thank you for your wisdom, that which is infinite. Thank you for your word that is pure. Thank you for all that you have revealed to Helen for this evening. Thank you that all that has been revealed to Hildegard. Thank you for Corn Mother. Thank you for your creation and how we are reminded yet again to really have a great connection with creation is to have a great connection with you as a creator. Thank you for all that you have provided for us, all that you have given us, and all that you will continue to give us. And may this teaching be something that we carry on through for the rest of this week and forevermore, and allow us to create better connections with each other, that we would come together as a full body of believers and not use such little things to create devices among us as a body of believers. May your wisdom lead us, and may your spirit fill us, the great spirit, and may our lives and what we have learned give glory and honor to you. And may we also appreciate our creation. And as people, we are part of your creation, O Creator. Thank you for your beautiful creation that was made in your image. And thank you for the great creation that also reflects your great power and your beautiful creation. Beautiful creation, beautiful reflection of you as the creator. May we continue to reconcile with each other. May we continue to learn the flaws that we have made as a body in the past and the present, and may we continue to learn in the future. Continue to bless and to uplift and to supply good medicine way. Thank you for his growth. Thank you for his standing, and may it continue to grow. Thank you for our leaders. Thank you for our volunteers. Thank you for all of our speakers. And may you continue to direct us into being the paradigm shift from the strict and traditional institutions within the West that has created division among your people. And we thank you, for we believe that change will continue to come. May you continue to keep us healthy and protected from harm's way tonight with our families, friends, colleagues, clients, and for those who don't even like us. May we reflect your love. O Creator says, free Jesus. May we reflect your wisdom, and may we continue to be protectors of your great creation, teachers of your word, and may we give honor to our historians, our leaders who are forgotten or unsung heroes. Thank you, and your truth will be revealed, and your truth is unbreakable. In your holy name, Creator sets free, O Jesus, by means of your great spirit, your Holy Spirit. Aho, may it be so.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Lamar. Thank you. And a big round of applause for Helen. Great presentation. But yes, don't forget, the next 3 weeks, we will be taking it off, giving time with our families. Hey, go ahead, Uncle. Say a few last words.
All right. Well, check the posts anyways during the week. We may have some surprises up there to share with you during the lull. So there will be something to hopefully you can listen to some of the things that interviews I've done, and you might learn a little bit there. Get to know me a little bit deeper than you just see me here and hearing other voices all the time. So yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and if not, we'll see you on, I believe it's the 29th is the last
29th.
Monday, and we'll be having our prayer night that night, as we do when there's a fifth Monday. So what'll kind of relaunch us. So 3 weeks off, and then the 29th we'll come together for prayer.
Right, y'all. Have a good evening, everyone. Love you. Be cool.
Right.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye bye.